Giants baseball, nothing like it.
Diving stab, Crawford throws to first. He got him. What a play.
On KNBR and KNBR FM, San Francisco.
The Phoenix Suns season is over. The Denver Nuggets are moving on to the conference finals for the second time in 4 years.
Game 6 belongs to the Celtics. There'll be a Game 7 on Sunday in Boston. The final score, Boston 95, Philadelphia 86.
Schmidt hits a high drive down the left field line. This one is gone into the second deck. He just unloaded on that pitch. Schmidt grounds one toward the middle. Far to his left, Perdomo, and it goes under his glove. Casey Schmidt's got himself another hit. He swings here and hits a big chopper over third. Rojas playing in, and it rolls down the left field line. Davis around third. He'll score, speeding into second. Schmidt around the third. Conforto. It's 3-0 Giants. Smash up the middle from Bart, base hit. Conforto will score. Schmidt to third. He stops there. That's got to feel good for Joey Bart. 4-0 Giants. Slider struck him out swinging. So Camilo Doval comes in and makes sure this didn't turn into a more stressful ninth inning. And the final score, 6-2. The Giants with the victory, and Casey Schmidt had another big night.
And that should do it.
Casey Schmidt does it again, launching his second MLB home run into the second deck. Oh, that feels good. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday morning. It's Marcus Boucher, a.k.a. the Waterboy from the Murph and Mac, taking you up to 6 a.m. with my guy, Overnight Dave, behind the glass, and taking you all the way up to Game 6 tonight down at Crypto.com Arena. Warriors, Lakers, win or go home, do or die game. And maybe a Game 6 Clay performance. I don't know. We're going to need a big-time performance from both the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and even Draymond Green, because the big news that came out last night is that Andrew Wiggins is dealing with a rib injury, and he's questionable for tonight's game. So there's plenty of injury news to get into in tonight's Warriors-Lakers matchup. What's going on with Anthony Davis and the concussion protocol, whether or not he'll be ready to go for it tonight, and whether or not the Warriors can win on the road, a place where they struggled mightily this season during the regular season, but we are in the playoffs. We have seen them win back-to-back regulars, or should I say playoff road games in Game 5 and Game 7 up in Sacramento. Well, tonight, they got to win, and they might be without two-way Wiggs. Haven't really got a clear injury update on him. I see he's listed as questionable, so that brings up a lot of questions on what the Warriors are going to do with their starting lineup, whether or not they will continue to go small with GP2. I mean, the one reason why they are able to go small with this small ball lineup is because Draymond Green can defend Anthony Davis. It's because Andrew Wiggins can defend LeBron James. Without Wiggins out there, and again, it's not confirmed that he's not playing, but we really don't know what his status is. I was listening to Steve Kerr's post-practice presser yesterday, and none of the reporters even asked him about it. And it's something that I don't think too many people realized during the game. I saw some video clips going around on Twitter. It looks like it happened around the 5-minute mark in that fourth quarter. He was boxing out LeBron James and then starts to grab his ribs. Now, I will point out that this was a rib injury that Kevon Looney also dealt with back in 2019 in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Missed Game 3, but was able to play the rest of the series, Game 4 and beyond. So it's going to be kind of up to Andrew Wiggins and his pain tolerance this morning. I don't know if they'll pull out the cortisone shot or something. I don't know. I would love to see Andrew Wiggins on the court, especially after his performance in Game 5. And the Warriors are going to need a full strength in numbers from guys like Moses Moody, who's been stepping up in these playoff minutes against the Lakers, Jonathan Kuminga, who we haven't seen at all. I don't know, a JaMychal Green. All these guys will have to be a factor tonight. And like I said, we'll have plenty of time to break down this Warriors and Lakers Game 6 matchup tonight. A game that some people are calling a Game 7 must-win for the LA Lakers. We can discuss that take also. I don't get how it's a must-win when they can lose and still play on Sunday. But hey, hopefully on Sunday, on Mother's Day this weekend, the Warriors are still playing. The other side of the bracket in the West has been decided after Nikola Jokic drops another MVP-type performance against Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. And now, if I may, do another little Survivor tribute. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns.
The tribe has spoken.
Make 80 out.
And how about that? Another season when the Warriors are playing longer than Kevin Durant. Now, of course, Warriors are in Game 6 tonight. Their season could end, but we're hoping they get the win. I would love to see them pull out the upset and then do it again on Sunday at Chase Center. And hell, we might have to preview Game 6 and Game 7 since we won't have a show before then. But like I said, we've got sound from Steve Kerr, Draymond. He dropped a podcast last night talking about Klay Thompson if he will show up for Game 6. And all these topics heading into tonight's big game. But real quick, I want to talk about last night's big game and another big-time performance from Casey Blanken Schmidt. That's right, Schmidt happens. Or should I say home runs happen. Because for the second time in 3 games, the kid goes deep. And we broke down a lot of Casey Schmidt on Wednesday morning, I believe it was, after he made his MLB debut, after I went out to Oracle Park on Tuesday night to go watch him and Logan Webb do his thing. And when he hit a home run in his second at-bat, I said, okay, this is the kind of things that we saw in spring training. And there were a couple home runs he hit down in Arizona earlier this year that were absolute moonshots. Well, guess what? He was back in Arizona again last night, playing in front of more friends and family. This is a guy that went to San Diego State, so of course he has friends and family all over California and the West Coast. So there was a bunch of traveling Schmidts yesterday in Phoenix, or wherever the hell the Diamondbacks play. I don't even know if they're out in Phoenix. I'm not a beat writer. I don't travel. I think it's in Phoenix. Dave, give me the thumbs up if I'm right on that one. Dave gives me the us. Maybe not. Whatever. Doesn't really matter, like Kevin Durant will tell you. Regardless, what does matter is it looks like the Giants finally have a prospect. Finally have somebody who you want to go out to the ballpark to go watch. Number 6, Casey Schmidt, a guy that we're hoping stays in the lineup even when Brandon Crawford makes his return. And I think probably one of my favorite moments outside of the 443-foot bomb that Casey Schmidt smacked yesterday was watching him at shortstop and then watching him go to the dugout and talk to Brandon Crawford about what he's doing, holding down the middle of the infield. And, of course, we know Brandon Crawford's going to go down in Giants history as the best shortstop ever. He's a guy who's going to have his number on the Wall of Fame. He's also a guy that almost got ran out of the shortstop position earlier this year when they were trying to bring in Carlos Correa, which begs the question, what's going to happen with Casey Schmidt when Brandon Crawford does come back? Now, there's a few different options out there. The Giants can go with their platoon system that they love so much. Let Crawford play against righties, Casey Schmidt's against lefties.
No.
But if Casey Schmidt is swinging the bat like he is, going 4 for 4 yesterday, hitting .667 with 2 bombs in his first 3 games, you got to find a spot for his bat in the lineup. Now, for people who aren't too familiar with Casey Schmidt, he's a man that came up through the system mostly as a third baseman. He actually won a minor league gold glove holding down the hot corner. So we know that's an option for him. The Giants have been using him a lot at second base this year in AAA too, so he's got that versatility. Now, Thairo Estrada is also one of the best players on the team right now. I think if we were selecting all-star players, he would be one of the guys in the conversation as one of the top 5 batting averages in the entire National League. So Tyro's going to get plenty of playing time. And J.D. Davis is swinging a great stick right now also. Now, if you're asking me, I would maybe try to move around J.D. Davis a little bit. Whether that's sticking him at DH when Jock Peterson's not playing against a lefty, or maybe moving J.D. to first base also to get that platoon matchup and split playing time between him and Lamont Wade. Because as great as Lamont Wade has been this year getting on base as that leadoff hitter, the Giants still don't want to play him against left-handed pitchers. So maybe J.D. gets a little bit more action at first base. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Casey Schmidt starts playing some first base It seems like he can play all over the infield. And again, if he's swinging the bat the way he is right now, you've got to find a spot in the lineup. You've got to keep him on the Major League roster. And you got to give the fans something to cheer for. That's pretty much it. That's the answer. We're all looking for the homegrown products.
And one of the only reasons to cheer if you're a Giant fan.
I mean, I was thinking about going down to Sacramento this weekend, go see my mama for Mother's Day. I'm looking at the schedule for the Rivercats, seeing when is Kyle Harrison going to pitch. I get excited over these guys. Marco Luciano's back from his back injury in Double-A right now, hitting bombs in Richmond. Grant McCray is a top 5 prospect. These are all guys that I watch, homegrown products down at San Jose. Guys like Joey Bart, who had an RBI single yesterday, hitting over 250 this year. When you miss out on all these free agents, on the Carlos Correas, on the Aaron Judges, on letting Carlos Rodon and Kevin Gausman walk away, it's going to have to come within the organization. And that's what I thought we were getting with Farhan Zaidi when he came over, was his prospects and kind of putting him on the fast path through the Major League level. We haven't seen it too much, but Casey Schmidt has arrived, 24 years old. Hopefully a guy that's in the lineup 24/7. I would expect him to be in the lineup today. I don't know how you could take him out of there. But then again, who knows with the platoon systems, and who knows what that injury update expected to come on Brandon Crawford within the next 24 to 48 hours. That was according to Gabe Kapler yesterday. And we should also keep an eye on this starting rotation with guys like Sean Manaea and Ross Stripling struggling. I know Alex Wood has been down in Sacramento with his rehab assignments. MLB.com has John Brebbia listed as the expected opener / starter today, but I also heard him on the postgame wrap last night talking about maybe Alex Wood making his return for today's game. So we'll keep an eye on that. Everything that's going on with the Giants with their injury news. Austin Slater's back on the IL again. That's great blanket news. I don't know. It seems like everybody's always getting hurt for the Giants, but the good news is Casey Schmidt's there. And how about Alex Cobb? Can we give him some love this morning? I almost feel like I'm disrespecting him as a former pitcher going 11 minutes in the first segment and not mentioning Alex Cobb, who's been one of the best pitchers in the entire major leagues this year. There he was yesterday, another scoreless outing, 7 1/3 innings, only 3 strikeouts, but got 12 ground ball outs. And that's 12. Also what you love to see with guys like Cobb, with guys like Logan Webb. When you have a pitching staff that relies so much on the ground balls, you need guys like Casey Schmidt with that Gold Glove out there. You need Brandon Crawford. You need guys who are going to make plays. He got 12 of those ground balls out, pitched out of a couple of traffic jams with guys on the bases. And again, this season he's got a 1.7 ERA. If you want to look at the 3 outings, that's not including the Mexico City game, he's thrown 3 straight shutouts, going back to that CG where he went 9 innings, 7 innings, no runs, 7 1/3 last night, no runs. And hell, even that game in Mexico, game 2 of the series, after we saw the home run fest that happened, he locked down the Padres that day. I know the Giants ended up losing. Their bullpen kind of fell apart. But that was a game where the over-under was 19. And with that elevation, balls were being launched. That's the thing. Yesterday with Casey Schmidt's 443-foot home run. Could you imagine if he hit that in Mexico City? He probably would have hit it 500-something feet. And that's the thing. The only guy who's hit a longer home run was Brandon Crawford. I think it was 445 down in Mexico City. So Casey Schmidt squaring up balls 116 miles per hour, launching him into the second deck for his second MLB home run, gives you something to cheer about for the San Francisco Giants, and they're back in action again today versus the D-backs. But like I said, I think the main event for everybody tonight is Warriors-Lakers. Or maybe the main event for you last night was the NFL schedule release. Like that really matters in May. I'm not someone who really cares too much about something, previewing something that's not going to happen for another 6, 7, 8 months.
Does it really matter?
No, I don't think it matters. I'm never one of those guys who gets hyped up about the schedule release. But if you are one of the traveling members of the 49er faithful, maybe you can start booking your holiday schedule. Since the 49ers will be playing both on Thanksgiving and on Christmas this year. At least Christmas will be at home at Levi's against the Baltimore Ravens, and Lamar Jackson with his brand new wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. That would be an awesome game on Christmas. Niners actually playing in 5 primetime games this year. I'm not going to lie, I did look over the schedule yesterday just to see what was going on, and because it's my job to talk about it, opening week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Not going to San Fran.
Could be a little of a difficult matchup, especially going against TJ Watt and not knowing who your starting quarterback is going to be.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Which is hilarious because last year we went through and picked winners and losers in May, and the 49ers went through like 4 different quarterbacks. But hey, we still got it right. And shout out to my guy, Adam Copeland, for all my P1 listeners for the leadoff spot. Dave, I got him at 6-10. Yeah, we'll go through the schedule next week, pick out our winners and losers. But I do think there is a really good schedule set up for the 49ers. Got the bye week, week 9, right in the middle of all of it. Hopefully by week 10, Brock Purdy will be healthy. Who knows what's going on with his status? But I heard Kyle Shanahan say yesterday that he's actually glad that they don't play the Eagles until December 3rd so that they will have a full and healthy roster. I actually really don't like the placement of that game because it's sandwiched in between 2 matchups against the Seattle Seahawks back in November and the second week of December. But like I said, we've got, 5 months, 4 months? At least 3 to talk about the schedule for the 49ers. So we'll break that down for you next week. But on the other side, let's get you ready for this Warriors and Lakers game tonight with the latest injury updates on Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Davis and whether or not we will see a Game 6 Klay Thompson performance. It's the Waterboy Marcus Boucher on a Friday morning. And Dave, real quick before we break, I know on Thursdays we're usually drinking at noon. But on the Friday before Mother's Day weekend, I got to give a shout-out to all the mamas out there and our man Willie Brown, Old Man Willie. It's a Raider tradition every year at the draft. While Willie was still with us, he made sure to remind us that this weekend is Mother's Day. Here's Old Man Willie giving us a reminder once again.
For every year, I'd like to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day, which is next Sunday. Don't forget, guys, my mom especially, Mrs. Al Davis especially. So happy Mother's Day to you. So don't forget, guys, go shopping, all right?
Don't forget and go shopping. It was one of my favorite parts of the draft. R.I.P. Willie. And yeah, shout out to everybody's mamas out there listening this morning. If you're a mama, if you got a mama. Hell, Dave, shout out to your wife. Shout out to Murph and Mac's wives. I don't got a wife, but I'll give a shout out to my mom on 50,000 watts. And maybe I will be taking her go see Kyle Harrison pitch tonight for the River Cats. But hey, let's get back into the Warriors talk. Let's break down these injuries. Let's let you hear some sound from Steve Kerr at practice yesterday. It's the Waterboy on a Friday morning on KNBR 104.5 FM and 680 AM, the Sports Leader.